When objects speed up, we say that they are accelerating. And if objects slow down, then we say they are decelerating. We can work out the acceleration of an object by this simple formula. The acceleration is equal to the change in velocity. Now we could use speed here as well. Either will work. Remember that velocity is a vector, so direction is important. So a positive velocity might be going in one way, a negative velocity would be going the opposite way. But acceleration is change in velocity over time taken. And we can show this in symbol form with the equation A equals delta, which stands for change. So delta is a Greek symbol for change. Change in v, that's velocity, over time taken. Sometimes you might see a little delta here as well, but it's not that important. It just means the change in time. So A equals delta V over T. If you want to know what the change in velocity is, you could use a simple little sub-equation, if you like. It's V minus U, where V stands for the final velocity and U is the initial velocity. You can kind of remember it with final and initial. So we'll look at an example in a minute, where we might use that to work out the change in velocity. But usually we can just work out whether we've increased in speed or velocity, or if we've decreased in speed or velocity. Remember, if we've decreased in speed, then we will have a deceleration, but this will be a negative acceleration. We'll come on to that in a little moment. So let's take a look at these symbols. A is the acceleration. Acceleration. The units of acceleration are meters per second squared. Now, what does this mean? Well, if we had, for example, a situation where an object was increasing with 3 meters per second squared acceleration, so it's increasing in speed, then let's just do a little table here. We could say time, and we're going to start in seconds. So we'll start at 0 seconds, then we're just going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, and just see what happens to the velocity or the speed. So the velocity or the speed with this acceleration, it's increasing in speed because it's positive. Well, when we first start, let's say that we start at 0 meters per second. So we're in meters per second. We're at rest to start with. We start the clock and we get to first second. That means our velocity has now increased to 3 meters per second. I'll put the units down there. In the next second, we will increase by another 3 meters per second. So we're now traveling at 6 meters per second. After 3 seconds, we've increased our speed even more. We're now at 9 meters per second, and so on. So we're getting faster, faster and faster. Every second we're increasing by 3 meters per second, and that's what acceleration is. It's saying 3 meters per second, and those guys all combine together to make that squared. Okay, let's carry on with the units here, with the quantities. So we've got acceleration in meters per second squared. Delta V, we said, is the change in velocity. Change in velocity. Delta is change. And the units of velocity or speed are, of course, meters per second. And T is the time taken, and that has to be in seconds here to match the seconds there. Okay, so let's take a little look at an example. So perhaps we have got a car. Here's my sombrero car. There we go. And it is speeding along at a speed, let's say it is going along at 15 meters per second, and a rough conversion to miles per hour is to multiply by 2. So this is just over 13 miles an hour, the kind of speed that cars would be traveling along a town road, for example. And let's say the driver decides to, oh, it might be a driverless car by the looks of it, but let's say that the car brakes now. It's going to decelerate, and it's going to decelerate at a rate of 2 meters per second every second. So we say it's a deceleration of 2 meters per second squared, or let's call it an acceleration of minus 2 meters per second squared. So that minus sign tells us it's a deceleration, but we're going to treat it like it's an acceleration but negative. And let's say we want to know what is the time taken, what's the time taken to or for the car to stop, for the car to come to rest, come to a stop. Well, let's do a little data list here. What do we know? Well, we're going to say, first of all, what's our change in velocity? Now, remember earlier on, I just said that change in velocity, you can think of it as the final velocity minus the initial velocity. So our final velocity here, well, it's coming to a stop, coming to rest. So that's going to be 0. Our initial velocity is 15. So our delta V is minus 15 meters per second. We're losing speed, and the change is minus 15 meters per second because we're decelerating. The acceleration, we said, is a negative because we're decelerating. So we're going minus 2 meters per second every second. So we're getting slower. And we want to know what time is. So there's our data list. Always a great way to start with calculations. Make sure you put the units there because we may have needed to convert if, say, there was units which were not consistent, like kilometers, for example. And now let's look at the equation. So A is the change in velocity or change in speed divided by time. Let's put the numbers in. Minus 2 is equal to minus 15 divided by time. Strange T. Time. Okay. Let's rearrange this. We've multiplied both sides by t, so we get minus 2t is equal to minus 15. We multiply both sides by t. And I now want to get t on its own, so we're going to divide both sides by minus 2. Divide by minus 2. So t is equal to minus 15 over minus 2, and that should give us 7.5 seconds. So we've done our list, we've done our equation, we've subbed in the numbers and solved, and now we're going to state the answer with the unit in seconds. So this car takes about 7.5 seconds to come to a rest, if it's decelerating with that braking deceleration. Okay. So I hope that's helped you understand how to calculate acceleration using the change in velocity delta V over the time taken. And I look forward to seeing you in the next flashcard.